Welcome back, Captain. I understand you have resolved your differences with our former boarding party. Are you ready to depart? Understood, Captain. Resuming our course. Good luck, Captain.
Hey, anybody out there? We're not here to hurt you.
Auntie's going to take care of you. It'll be okay.
That's the last of him! Now that was fun! Hey, what would happen if this station fell into Olympus? Would we just keep falling forever? Just asking. Nobody messes with you, boss! That's the last of him!
No, that won't do it all. Imbecile. Shush. No talking. Concentrating. Damn it. I almost had it. The formula was in my mind, and I almost had it. I was so close to a breakthrough, I could practically taste it. You really did pick the worst time to manifest. Oh, hang on. I see what's happening. You're real. Ergo, not a hallucination. This is interesting. I have several questions for you. Let's start with the obvious. Who are you, and how are you even alive? All sorts of things. Science, mainly. A little bit of research. If you're talking about all the dead bodies, that'd be the pink slip protocol. Right, that answers that. Next question. Do you come bearing fresh pharmaceuticals?
This guy looks like he's had enough.
Look, we all know you're here to interrogate me. If I'm going to go through this ordeal, I'm not doing it sober. Ugh, stale drugs. Well, what's one more disappointment anyway? Auntie Cleo instituted the Pink Slip Protocol. Fancy marketing term that translates to, we're not satisfied with the quality of your work, so we're revoking your lifetime contracts. Can you believe Auntie terminated my entire team? It's a terrible setback. For my team, I mean, not for me. Not this time. I'll continue the work on my own if need be. Ah, right. How do I put this? This is not the first time I've lost a research team to corporate mismanagement. It's the second. Auntie had been threatening to instigate Pink Slip Protocol for months, though I honestly didn't think they'd have the stones to do it. I was on the verge of giving Auntie the results she wanted. Well, almost on the verge. Approaching the verge. The point is, I didn't think this would happen. Before I was traded, I worked on Project Gorgon. I lost that team by attrition. Management turned the screw on my team. Forced me to fire 1 in 10 researchers. The few of us that remained were overworked and exhausted. We didn't have much of a security detail. I don't know how the primals got loose, but my team didn't stand a chance. You've done your research. Yes. The unfortunately named Mr. Goodfellow decided his ego was more important than our research. We were designing a drug the likes of which Halcyon had never seen. A veritable panacea that cured lethargy and guaranteed a lifetime of productivity. I was overwhelmed, overworked, frustrated. Forced to submit unfinished samples, failing to meet impossible deadlines. I started self-medicating to enable my genius to perform at a greater capacity. To forget, to endure, to feel nothing. Project Gorgon was in its final days when the primals attacked our lab. It wasn't long until Spacer's Choice authorized my transfer to this facility. Human Inquiry was supposed to be responsible for testing Adrenatime. Under normal circumstances, the chem lab wouldn't have had to perform live tests. But creative incubation pressured my team with impossible deadlines. The prototypes we delivered to Dr. Blakesley at Human Inquiry were poor because we were rushed. I had to begin experimenting on my own. I had to perform my own tests, so I used primals. They're not the best choice for test subjects, but I was working for Spacer's Choice. Whoever reached greatness by coloring within the lines. And besides, my lines often move around on the page. My point is, I was doing my job. I was doing science. I will continue to do so until my mind or my body expires. Auntie Cleo wants us to develop Anthracillin Plus, a new and improved version of the original Anthracillin formula. And what Auntie wants, Auntie gets. Eventually, I was making considerable progress. I can't possibly fathom why they prematurely terminated the project. I'm not lying. I'm carefully curating the truth for you. All right, listen. Auntie needs to be patient. I'll eventually get around to developing Anthracillin Plus. My priority right now is sky high. Once I perfect my formula, I'll be able to keep my mind functioning at peak performance without any pesky distractions. Like feelings. No, you don't. There's nothing interesting in the chem lab. There's nothing interesting in Gorgon at all. Gorgon is a featureless rock dragged along by the gravitational current of a barren asteroid belt. The chem lab is a graveyard. You won't find anything there but the dead. Dr. Olivia Ambrose was one of the finest scientists in the colony. If you're risking your life to retrieve her journal, there's likely a good reason. If you've set your heart on exploring my old labs, I won't try to dissuade you. Indulge me with a favor, and I'll give you the access you want. The electromechanical turbine is offline. Without any power, I can't possibly continue my work. Be a dear and reactivate it for me. That's all I ask. Not that it's any of your business, but I don't get to quit. My colleagues are dead, and yet I live. So I don't get to quit. Take the elevator to the storm platform at the top of this facility. Reactivate the turbine, and I'll give you the access you want.
You alright, boss?
Got him!
Wasn't really following what you did there, but I guess it worked.
The facility's back on the grid, and my pipes again floweth with the sweet, sweet essence of my salvation. I suppose I have you to thank for realigning the machine. Of course, Jasper, you imbecile. Right, yes, of course. You'll need my voice to get into the chem lab. I'm obviously not coming with you, so I'm giving you a recording of my dulcet speech. This recording should get you into the chem lab. I hope whatever you're after is worth the trauma. I wouldn't go back there if I was higher than the mercury levels in a can of salt tuna. Wait, take my gun while you're at it. If you end up dying on Gorgon, there's a non-zero chance I'll feel partially responsible. Neither of us want that. Die, perhaps? Automechanical sentries are generally programmed to ignore corpses. I don't like the idea of going back to that place, to that life. Yes, I know it's not me risking my throat gallivanting around Gorgon. It's you, for whatever madcap reasons you've got. I've helped you once, and I don't feel great about it. I made a clean break from Gorgon, and now it feels like you're asking me to tether myself back to that place. I knew I should have deleted those letters. Of all the hull-headed things I've done while inebriated, writing subversive messages to my old managers ranks somewhere in the middle. Here, my personal security keycard. There's a hallway near the processing room. It leads to a security terminal. Use this keycard to unlock the hallway and disable security. Did you snoop through my things? And just admit it to me. You do have gall, I'll give you that. Look, I keep a draft on my terminal where I vent my occasional frustrations with upper management. It's honestly one of my less detrimental coping methods, as I am not stupid enough to fill out the name in the address field. Even if I wanted to talk about Project Gorgon, I couldn't. All my memories of Gorgon are intact, but they're in disarray. Like a book with its pages shuffled. Making sense of those memories requires clarity of mind. Clarity that only Sky High gives me. To tell you everything I know, I'd have to be dangerously euphoric. Surely you jest. Even were I inclined to teach you, which I am not, you wouldn't be able to replicate an alternative to Compound X. The compound is derived from the metabolic waste of xenocytes, a microbial life form growing beneath the surface of Gorgon. However, they're accursedly sensitive to their ecosystem. Exactly. When Project Gorgon was active, corporates' varied attempts to port xenocytes off-world killed them, every time. And even were one able to cultivate xenocytes in a petri dish, they'd need millions to refine even a dash of the compound. We mined immense amounts of Compound X directly from subterranean caverns in Gorgon. So you see, there is no Adrenatime without Project Gorgon.
You gotta show me how you did that. Yeah, boss? Nice work dealing with those freebooters. Somebody out there wants us dead. But don't exactly narrow the field. Whoever it was, if they really wanted to cross us off, they should have sent competent mercenaries. Beats me. Could have been anybody. Could have been Ada. It probably wasn't Ada. Hey, could have been my old foreman. I'm guessing whoever hired him had something to do with Project Gorgon.
Auntie's going to take care of you. It'll be okay. Auntie's going to take care of you. It'll be okay. Just breathe, Kelly. Everything's gonna be all right. Ah! Stop making that noise. They'll hear you. Who's out there? Oh! Thank Auntie. You are a send from the stars. I'll open up right away.
Let me just catch my breath. I swear, my heart's trying to punch its way out of my chest. Law, I'm so lucky you came along. I know it sounds crazy, but a little while back, I'd been gearing myself up to take a long walk off a short turbine platform. Then the security mechanicals broke out into a massacre, and I realized I really want to live. How can I help you help me get out of here? I'm Kelly Marine, the receptionist. And before you ask, I wasn't manning the visitor's desk when the mechanicals went haywire, 'cause no one comes here. Not ever. Not since all us station workers were dropped off at the start of the project a year ago. You're an odd one, aren't you? No respectable company operates without a receptionist. Project's on a yearly rotation cycle. Once a year, Auntie Cleo reviews our work and decides if we get more rations, personnel, deadlines, that sort of thing. At first, I thought it was an honor, getting assigned to a lab up in the ether high above Olympus. But I didn't know what it'd be like, day in and day out. Cabin fever sets in at about 90 days. Auntie Cleo's official term is contagious irritable claustrophobia, and it ain't covered by the company's medical policy. Nothing good if the last year's taught me anything. Isolation like this is supposed to strengthen bonds between workers, isn't it? All I ended up as was the butt of a bunch of jokes. But enough about me. I never did ask why you were here. I dare say you sure came to the right place. I'd show you to our facility's turbine platform up in the storm, but my days of gazing into the abyss are over. When I used to sneak up there, though, I'd pilfer Dr. Lowe's key to the elevator. He's real absent-minded. Or was. Guess you can find the key either off his body or in his office. Doc Lowe's alive! Oh, that's just great! That's a relief. Means I don't have to be the only survivor. Hey, not to sound presumptuous, but this is an orbital lab floating in the ether thousands of miles above the surface of Olympus. Which means you've got a ship. Where it's safe, and where there's probably a lavatory? Drop me off on the groundbreaker, and I'll be out of your hair in no time. I'm not making anything. The research team, they were brewing up some improvement to Anti-Cleo's anthracyllin. Science stuff isn't really my area, though, so I don't know more than that. Do I ever? Drop me off on the groundbreaker, and I'll be out of your hair in no time. Oh, thank you so much. I'll just hide in a crate or something. You won't even know I was there. Here, this is my official laboratory headgear. I won't be needing it anymore, so it's all yours.